Hey everyone, today's video is going to be the beginning of a new reading vlog, weekly reading vlog. I'm going to be focusing on more fall reads. I have been on a roll. I'm still trying to find favorites, trying to find like subgenres that work for me for like mystery, thriller, horror, because it's been a struggle, I feel like, in the last couple of years. But now that I've realized that like domestic thrillers do not work for me, I'm trying to find other things that might work for me. So I have 4 books that at least I'm going to start this week. We'll see how far I can get. So quickly, the first one, horror. I have been very unlucky, I feel like, with horror books. Very few end up becoming favorites. To be fair, I'm not going out of my way to find new ones because it's been so hit and miss for me. I feel like half of them have like open endings, which I hate. So it doesn't help. But this one was recommended to me and I was excited enough to actually pick it up. It's fairly short, which I feel like a lot of horror books are on the shorter side, and this one's about 75 pages. So quick one. The premise seemed intriguing at first, but now I don't really remember exactly what it is and I don't really want to look too much into it. I'm gonna actually read it today. We'll see soon, but I believe it's like you're seeing like this man at the store with his son, but his son is not his son kind of thing. So like, I don't know if he kidnapped the son or what. Like I said, I'll figure that out today. I think I'm gonna live react, update you as I'm reading it, and we'll figure out what it is about. So yeah, I'm excited. I've heard great things and the cover is creepy, so I feel like it's a good sign. So that's the first one. The second one, I mentioned that murder mysteries do tend to work for me, but I haven't seen any recently that sounded appealing, and I've been told to try this author. I've been trying to read more translated work. So the author is Japanese. The first book is A Devotion of Suspect X, which I think is a murder mystery. All I know is that the premise, there's like this woman who divorced her husband, and he shows up one day and I think something happens between them. Maybe she murders him to protect her kid. We'll figure it out. This one, also not super big. There's about 300 pages. So we'll see how quickly I can read this. I'm excited. I've heard really great things about the author in general. I have a couple of his other books on my radar whenever I go to a secondhand bookstores like Malice, and there's the other one like something Midnight, Under the Midnight Sun or something. So these two I've been trying to see if I can find because I've heard great things and I want to read more by the author if I like this one. So that's the next one I want to read. The next two, actually, there's another one that is an audiobook, so I will be able to start it. I just started it, and it is The Thursday Murder Club, which is supposed to be a cozy murder mystery, which that's another subgenre I'm trying. So far they've been working, especially whenever they're like in small towns, but this one, the premise sounds so fun to me because you're following this group of like 80-year-old people that are in a like retirement village, and they meet up every Thursday to solve murder mysteries that, you know, were unsolved. And then there is a murder mystery happening around them and they're trying to solve it. Apparently the characters are super likable, and apparently the series keeps getting better and better. So I'm gonna try that one as an audiobook. We'll see how that goes too. The last one, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to finish it this week, depending on how quickly I read these two. It's Tender is the Flesh. I have it on my not my Kindle, actually, it's the Kobo, because my library has the ebook and I finally got my hands on it. I've been told that it's horror, by the way. Like, there's a disease, a pandemic that happens, and then consequences that we can't digest animal meat anymore. So like cannibalism becomes a thing. And it's pretty short, like 250 pages. I've been told so many times, so many opinions. People think I'm gonna love it or hate it. I don't know. At this point, I just want to know, because that sounds so creepy, but I feel like it could be a really interesting conversation, like to explore, like where is the author going to go? So I will at least attempt to start it this week. I'm really excited. I need to know at this point. I feel like whenever you see a book going around so much, at one point I don't even care if I'm gonna love it or not. I just need to know. So this is how I'm feeling about Tender is the Flesh. I need to know. On this very cheerful note, I wanted to give a special thank you to Established Titles. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. If you don't know, they have a website that lets you buy a certificate that will give you 1 square footage of land in Scotland, and with that you will be able to be called a lord or a lady. So I'm now officially Lady Emily Fox. I have my unique little plot number right there, so that lets me be called a lady. I can put that on my credit card if I want to. And they're currently having their pre-Black Friday sale. So if you are interested, I'll link all the information in the description box. You can use the code EmilyFox to get 10% off. And the first 200 people that will get their own plot of land will be one of my neighbors. We can create our own little kingdom, Emily Fox book with Emily Fox Kingdoms. So if you are interested, once again, all the information is going to be down below. In my opinion, it just makes for a really fun and unique gift. The holidays are approaching, or like I said, you can buy it for yourself, but it's also for a good cause because for every order, they've committed to planting a tree. They're working with global charities like One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. It makes for a good balance. You get a certificate that makes you a lord or lady, and then there's also a tree that will be planted globally. I'm gonna go to work because, whoop, there it is. I'm gonna give you my first impressions as I go through this book. I'm really excited. Okay, so update number 1. I'm at the end of chapter 2. I completely forgot to update at the end of chapter 1 because I need to continue. Is it going to be a creepy child story? I love those. I thought it was the men kidnapping the kid, which, like, obviously that's scary and uncomfortable, but creepy kids are so creepy in horror books. I love them for that. It's just so uncomfortable because they're kids. Like, you associate them with, like, innocence. So whenever they're, like, creepy and you don't know, like, are they possessed or whatever, and you never know if, the person is crazy or the kid is the one that's crazy. Love those. Love those. So, like I said... I was finishing chapter 2 and I realized I needed to update you because that sounds fun. This dude is just at the store grabbing some chocolate for his girlfriend. They're gonna have like a lazy day. And then there's this kid screaming like crazy, and this poor woman, his mother, who just looks completely out of it. Like she is not living her best life. And yeah, that's how it starts. And ooh, creepy kid, creepy kid. Okay, I'm very happy about that. I told you, I have a good feeling about this one. This might become a new favorite horror book, she said at page 14, but we'll see. By the way, have you seen my sweater? I love that thing. It's like new to me-ish. I got it last year, but still, I'm so happy to be wearing it. I don't like that it's cold enough to wear turtleneck in October, but I got it at Value Village, which like the prices at Value Village have gone absolutely insane. I bought it for $14.99, and like it seems like it's a lot for like a secondhand basic turtleneck. But I like the color. I don't have anything in that kind of blue color, which is really nice. But more importantly, this is 100% cashmere, which is my first one. Definitely will not be my last one if I can find other ones because it's so soft. And like it's thin, like not cheap thin, but like on the thinner side. And it's so warm. I'm in love with that thing. So yes, if you ever see me do this, it's because it's so soft. So yes. Do you like to buy clothes secondhand? If so, what's your best find? Let me know in the comment section. I'm curious because I never used to look at the clothes because I get overwhelmed so easily. I will look at the books. That's what I usually do, or like maybe some house stuff because I've been, you know, renovating. But I never look really at the clothes because it just feels like too much. But that one time I was just touching the clothes, waiting for my friend, and I touched this one. I was like, oh, this is so soft. And then I saw 100% cashmere, like mine. So I will continue with that technique. I'm only at page 20 and like, F that kid. Oh my gosh, what the hell is going on? I am scared. Ooh, this is good though. Like every time, oh, there's a cat. There's a cat. There's a cat. I get distracted so easily. I haven't seen that one. Funny one with a color. This was a cat break of the day. Whenever you close a book, because you're like, nope, 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 it's a good sign for a horror book. So this is exactly how I'm feeling, page 20. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what's going on, but okay, I have to go back. Okay, so I finished chapter 5, but I wanted to go back to what happened a little earlier because I don't know if it's a petty complaint, I don't know. But it happened a couple times in a few different books, and it's something that I've noticed that male authors do that it bugs me whenever they do it. And it's whenever they try to have like a feminist moment with a female character. It never rings true and it always bugs me. And in this case, it could be because she's a police officer, so like whatever. So like the character is like in shock for something that happened. I'm gonna keep this vague. And he's saying how like, oh, well, did you send your men to check? And then the police officer is like, well, one of our men was like Patricia. So it's like, are you being like this because you're a police officer? Or is it because like feminism. It's just such a weird moment to have this take. It reminds me a little bit of like Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. In the beginning, there's a scene where he's trying to make the female character like a strong, independent woman, and it's so bad. So bad. Anyway, that's the only complaint that I have so far. I have no idea what's going on in a good way, and it is weird. It is weird, but like, I don't know how it's going to end. I mean, I have no idea where it's going, but like horror books in general, ending them is so hard. I don't even know how it would end this one. So I've heard it's not open ending though, because I complained about them and that was one of the suggestions. So whoever suggested this, thank you. I mean, I'm not done with it, but like, so far it's made me very uncomfortable. Yay. No, page 38. No, what the heck? No, that kid is so creepy. I don't know what's going on. I hate this. Oh my God. I'll leave it in the comment section because it might be a spoiler, but no. So I have been sitting here for however long it took me. I'm not a fast reader, so I don't know if it's been an hour or two, whatever. I read this whole thing in one go. I mean, 75 pages, but I read this whole thing in one go. I desperately need to go cut my bushes because it's about to rain. I can feel it. It's dark, but this was good. I'm going to give it 4 stars. I don't know yet. It's going to take me a couple days to really think about it, but this was definitely one of the best horror books I have read. I haven't read a ton, but I feel like a lot of them were kind of bad. A lot of them would probably be by like Stephen King, and his endings always suck. But one day maybe I'll go through enough horror books to do favorites. I definitely do not have enough. I don't even know which ones I would really recommend, but this was good. Nothing like expected, really. The ending was good. I'm satisfied with it at the moment. Again, I'm gonna probably look some reviews. Sometimes it helps me find the right words, but I'm happy. Thank you for recommending this. I will look what else the author has written and check those out. But if you like horror books, I would definitely check this one out because I had a few really uncomfortable moments. And I like whenever you feel like you're losing your mind because the main character is losing his mind. Yay. Just so uncomfortable. If you want a horror book for the fall, I mean, it's right now, right? Not the holidays, the Halloween is coming up. One night, dark room, just your light, reading this book, you will definitely be uncomfortable. At least I was, and it's daytime. So I will be picking up tonight the other one, but first, the bushes. Time for a new update. I made some progress with the book. It's raining again. It's getting very depressing, I'm telling you. But I have some gossip, which I don't know if you guys care, but I feel like my neighborhood is pretty chill, surprisingly. My next door neighbor knows all the gossip. He's always keeping me updated on what's going on everywhere. Like this summer, there was this big drama because one of my other neighbors decided to get a rooster, which is illegal. And the other neighbors were really mad because obviously it was saying at like 5 in the morning. So they had to call the city. It was awful, apparently. And I learned about it when it was all over. I did hear the rooster though, but this time it involves me, which it's not that deep, but for some reason I find it very interesting. I'm so confused because, okay, bear with me. One day I grabbed my recycling bin after, they had emptied it and was bringing it back to the house when I realized that the cover was like pretty much completely ripped off. And I was so confused because like, how did that happen? Like, what did he do with it? And I stopped thinking about it until my dad came and helped me with the library. And I was telling him about it because he noticed it. And then he was like, that's not your bin. I was like, what? And then on the side, there's our number, our door number on the side of the bin, and it wasn't mine. So it seemed that one of my neighbors decided to exchange their completely broken bin for mine. It's like who does that? And it's not an accident because it's not one of my close neighbors. Like, think if I'm number 2, they're number 16. Like, it's a couple houses down. And like, part of me is like, well, at 2 in the morning, I'm going to go and exchange them again. Although I probably should go on a walk on Bins Day and like, see if they have mine with my number on it. But like, think about it. If they're crazy enough to steal my bin at 2 in the morning, because when else are they doing this? Because my other neighbors are always outside. So like, they would have seen them. Maybe I shouldn't actually start conflict with them. So I guess my solution is to call the city to ask if they can replace my bin because it's really like it's destroyed and like water accumulates in there. It's awful, and like winter's approaching. I don't want snow in there. It will be like a pain in the butt. So I will call to see if they can exchange it. And if they're telling me that there's a fee, I'm gonna have to tell them about my neighbors that are thief. Like, this is so not that serious, but for some reason I'm like, who does that? Like, who does that? Anyway, let's go back to what you guys really want to talk about. This book, Devotion of Suspect X. So this is my, like 5th Japanese translation of the year, I think. And I'm starting to think that maybe just Japanese reads very dry in English. Confirm, infirm in the comment section if you are aware of something that I'm not. But the only one that wasn't that dry, but still was dry in my opinion, was Norwegian Wood by Murakami, which awful book. Don't do it to yourself. Seriously, I'm traumatized by these female characters. We'll talk about that at the end of the year in my worst books of the year. But the writing is dry still with this one, but the story at least is engaging so far. So I wasn't too far off with the premise. You're following this woman who has been hiding from her ex-husband because he's financially abusive, trying to get money. And the daughter is not his daughter. It's like his stepdaughter. So they've been like divorced for like the last 5 years, and one day he shows up basically wanting money again because, you know, he's implying that he's going to ruin her life if she's not helping him. Like, he knows she's going to eventually give him money. So the daughter starts attacking him, and then the mother has to get involved so he's not going to kill his daughter, her daughter. And they basically murder him. And they don't know what they're going to do until the neighbor shows up and decides to help them. So it's not a spoiler. That happens like super quickly in the book. So like you're following the investigation and like them trying to keep it together and the neighbor helping them. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. So far so good. I've heard great things about the author. Like I mentioned, I'm hoping to find more of his books when I go thrifting, but I'll keep you updated. So far so good. Good morning. I wanted to update you because I have finished the book, but priority, I finally got around to doing my little DIY decor that I've been meaning to do for weeks. If you remember in my last book haul video, the first book I showed was that I got a new edition, used edition of Pride and Prejudice because I wanted to do a whole decor thing in my library because it's been in construction for months at this point and I can't wait anymore. I want it to feel a bit more like home. So I got to work last night. I'm gonna insert the clips. I worked real hard. After looking up how to on the internet, I decided to stain the pages because they were too white and pristine. I wanted them to look used and old. So I got to work. I cut off the pages that had passages that I liked. So for example, the first page, the love declaration of Mr. Collins and Mr. Darcy, and then like the happy parts too. And I then grabbed a big pen. I got my most disgusting one because I didn't know how it was going to look, if it was going to stain or something. And then I put some coffee in there and then I got to work, put the paper in there, left them there for a couple minutes, brought them out, put the next one. Online it said that the longer you left it, the darker it got, and I don't think that's true. I tried to leave it for 10 minutes the first time, and afterwards I was doing less and less and less, and they look all the same the next day. So I'm telling you, don't waste your time like I did. So yeah, you can use coffee, you can use tea. I know you can technically put them in the oven also, but I'm knowing myself, I didn't want to burn down the house, so I didn't do that. The coffee worked fine, it smells nice too, so why not? So I got to work, did that, left them to dry overnight. I didn't do as many pages as I wanted because I just didn't have enough space anymore to let them dry. So I might do a part 2 by myself for the little DIY. The only thing is I would tell you in advance to do any, like, I kind of wish I had underlined my favorite quotes and maybe put like writing in the margins beforehand because now the paper is like a lot more fragile. I was just worried that like leaving it in the, like the coffee was going to like ruin it, but don't do what I do. Do it the other way around. So I might try to attempt to do it anyway, but I'm going to let the paper dry 100%. Like it's dry, but like I'm scared. So I did that. And then this morning when they were dry, I got to work and put them on the wall. I just painted the walls, so I was really worried that anything was going to like rip off the paint. So if you have any recommendations of what I can use, let me know, because so far I only used the like green like painter's tape, but it's not sticky enough. And like, I don't know how solid it's going to be. So if you have anything that is like a bit stickier, but will not rip off the paint, let me know and I will redo it.
I also had just gotten little bats, like plastic bats for decor for Halloween, and I put those also on the wall. The only thing is, once again, the painter's tape wasn't sticky enough, especially since I had to make it really small so it would be hidden on the bat. Will not stay. It will not stay. You might see some fall in the clips. I tried real hard because I wanted to take a thumbnail, you know? I thought it looked really pretty. So yeah, it does come with proper sticker, but once again, I was afraid for the paint, or like if I put them on the paper, that was going to destroy it when I remove it. So that's that. So for now, it's temporary. I don't know how solid it's going to be, but I will be looking into a more long-term solution. But I think it looks great. Definitely very like fall vibes. Definitely the right vibes also for the room in general. So I'm happy with it. I did it finally. So highly recommend it. It was pretty easy, very budget friendly, and yeah, it looks great. So, but do the underlining of your favorite quotes beforehand. So now the book. I did finish it. I had to do some pretty rough editing in my last update because I said something and I didn't think it was necessarily going to be a spoiler. I had only read the first 100 pages, but I kind of guessed something, and I feel like you will enjoy the book better if I don't include that part. So you haven't seen it, but I'm just telling you, I had to cut some of my review because of that. I ended up enjoying the murder mystery a lot more than I expected. Like, the ending was better than I was anticipating. However, I really hated the after ending. It's not really an epilogue, but like there's a big reveal and then there's like after. I hated that after. So I feel like it brought the book down a little bit for me. The writing was definitely dry, like I mentioned. I think there's this stiffness also in the culture, right? They're like very polite Japanese, and like I'm Canadian, so we're excessively polite too, but not in a like, I want to say cold way. It's not really the right way of saying it, but like less stiff, I guess. Like I know I'm Canadian when I'm traveling. Like I haven't traveled in a while, but I remember the first time I went by myself to LA for a trip for the beauty channel. I felt very Canadian because in the airport I kept apologizing to everyone every 5 seconds, and like nobody was apologizing. Everyone was looking at me like I was insane. So yeah, there's a reason we have a law that you can't be held responsible even if you say sorry, because we just say too much. But yes, it's a different way of being polite. So maybe that's playing into what I felt while reading it. But yes, I liked it enough that I do want to read more by the author, but it wasn't a 5 stars. Like I might run it up to 4 because I overall enjoyed, again, the reveal. It's a good murder mystery. It's just, I don't know, let me know if you've read the book. Let me know how you felt about the ending. I feel like it wasn't satisfying. There, I said it. But I still enjoyed it enough that I do want to read more by the author. So not a bad vlog, still overall pretty happy. 2 books that I gave 4 stars to. That's actually good. That's actually good. I think I'm just disappointed with my tape from this morning. I wanted the bat to stay. They look so cool. I highly recommend them. The pack came with like 6 packs, so I can like do it everywhere in the house if I want to. I just feel like I'm a bit late in my like Halloween decor because the library is taking forever. Every time there's always something, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So yes, successful vlog. I'm happy with 2 books that I gave 4 stars to. Both I would recommend if you are interested. And I can't wait for next week because I will finally read Tenders of Flesh. I was hoping I would have time, but with the library, we had to do so much that I didn't have time to read as much as usual. Plus, it goes dark at like 6 o'clock, so I'm very sleepy at night. And yeah, I have some exciting books next week, so I will see you then. Bye.